disease, or conditions. Opinions stated by various contributors to the Powerhouse Radio and its programming are not to be considered as endorsed by the Powerhouse Radio station. Visitors are urged to use their own discernment to draw their own conclusion. We emphasize the importance of keeping an open mind.
One Bottle Kia full range of products embodies fundamental nutrients necessary to maintain beautiful and healthy hair care without having to combine an assortment of hair care products. The One by One Kia products are designed to rejuvenate, moisturize, create shine, fortify, and stimulate hair growth while leaving your hair feeling weightless and luxurious. Be sure to visit our website at www.onebwankaa.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at One Bottle Care. Let's get your healthy hair care journey started today. The Hinkson Firm's mission is to provide superior legal service in the areas of family law, child welfare law, general legal services, and mediation by keeping convenience of the clients at the forefront. The Hinkson Firm's goal is to eliminate the stress of an already intense situation in your life by coming directly to your workplace and or a location close to your home for consultation, meetings, and mediation. The Hinkson Firm customized legal attention based on the needs of each client while treating every client with the dignity and respect they deserve, while fighting strongly and fiercely for justice and their legal rights. The Hinkson Firm can be reached at 470-499-4704.
Yeah. You listen to the sounds of DJ Fourth Quarter in your ear right now. If you're in your car, if you're at home, if you're on your phone, let's gripe, baby.
Driving home and you're feeling kind of tired. Hey, radio play the same thing every day. So you need a little switch in your life. Traffic got you jammed up every night. Tune in to Powerhouse. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? You need something to just ride to on the go. Or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe. 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 Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. It's Wednesday, March 10th.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday.
What up, everybody, for this hump day? What's up?
Hump with it. Hump with it.
It's that Wednesday after what we had going on this weekend, Atlanta. What?
All-Star weekend.
Ooh.
So who went out there this weekend?
Negative.
I don't know those
Negative.
people. I don't know those people. Yeah.
I'm not judging them. I chose not to hang out with the crowd.
Yeah. I don't know those people.
So I've never been to Freaknik, but I've heard of Freaknik.
Okay.
But from what I
out.
saw from them clubs over the weekend, it looked something like Freaknik.
Something like it.
Yeah.
The crime looks something like Freaknik too. So
I mean, we kind of predicted that it would be reminiscent of years in the past, and people would visit Atlanta and want that Atlanta experience. So that includes all kinds of things.
oh yeah, they got some and more.
And yeah, so they'll have a story to tell. Remember that time we went to Atlanta during the COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Oh yeah, and I got sick 2 weeks later. Is that's going to be how the story is going to evolve?
Or had a quarantine, or I missed my flight, or
Couldn't
she
get back
called me 2
home.
weeks later and said, Remember me?
Yeah, did anyone read that story about that young lady who started a GoFundMe account because she got stranded in
Oh yeah.
Atlanta?
Oh
I
yeah.
didn't read it. Can you give
What?
me a little?
I
Yeah,
don't know why people gave her money.
I was trying to wonder that too.
I know that's wrong with me. I just don't understand why people gave her money.
Did
You
she
stuck. You
come to
stuck.
Atlanta on a wing and a prayer?
Yeah. You stuck. You stuck. I
It's
mean,
not
Waffle
something
House.
you could
Waffle
hitchhike.
House could have hired her.
You know, that's not what
Waffle
we
House would
do.
have hired
Yeah.
her. So I mean,
But people use GoFundMe for all kinds of emergencies. Pets dying, getting stranded in Atlanta, sinkholes. I mean,
And want some juicy crab, maybe.
just have,
Mm,
we gripe about it, but we're not judging y'all. We're just saying
we're
that
yeah,
just saying.
it's interesting out here how people conduct themselves. But that works. Like it worked for her. She got home. People
or
donated.
she got the money. Either way, either one of them.
Right.
Okay.
It worked out. In other
It,
words.
it worked out. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so guys, I know a lot of times a few of my listeners would say to me, a lot of times I see you guys having a conversation and you're looking away, you're looking down. I'm like, yeah, I'm on the phone, I'm sending the links out to the YouTube channel, trying to get you to, see us while you're listening to us. So yes, that's what I be doing. The phone right here in my hand, I'm looking this way and I'm smiling and
Mm-hmm.
engaging in the conversation, multitasking. That's what I do. Multitask.
Yeah.
So again, listen, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel at the Powerhouse Radio. You can also go to Facebook, Let's Gripe, and as well as Facebook or the powerhouseradio.com. And also, you can check us out on Instagram and Twitter. Tweet. Is that what it is? But you're also going to listen live, like by dialing 667-930. 9036. Did I say it right? And also, if you want to have a conversation with us or share your gripes, you can definitely dial in at 706-955-2001. So, how are we going to get this started? Anybody got a gripe? I'll let
Okay.
you guys go first.
I just have a small gripe, nothing major. So Friday is trash day. I set the trash out. And I think I've talked about my trash man before. Some weeks he'll come like right around 8, between 8 and 9, and other weeks he'll come around 2 and 2:30. So this particular Friday, I set it out early in the morning. I didn't set it out the night before. A lot of people set their trash out Thursday night. That's fine. So it's Friday morning about 7, I go out there, set out my trash. Everybody else has their trash out. Okay, no big deal. By 9:30, no trash. But this is at every other Friday, rotation. So I'm used to it now. Now that you work remotely, you notice all these things that you never would have known before. So about 4 o'clock, I was like, is he not coming today? And that happens sometimes. So I was okay with that. But by Saturday afternoon, people were kind of looking around like, yeah, let's just roll it back because clearly he's not coming this week. So let's just, my immediate neighbor, I saw they had already rolled their full trash can back to, I said, okay, well, he got a bye week. Maybe he was downtown, maybe he went to hang out in these NBA All-Star streets. And that's why he was unable to make it. But to my trash man, I hope everything is okay, and hopefully we'll be back on Friday. And we wish you the best. So thanks for all you do.
Yeah, shout out to the trash man. Shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him.
That's my gripe. If you're listening,
Well, not like my trash man. Look, I'm going to jump on her, piggyback on her trash guy. The trash guy, he'll actually tell the company that the garbage wasn't at the curb.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got to threaten them and say, would you like me to send you the recording?
Wow.
Yeah, it's pointing to my mailbox. Did you need me to? Yes, that's how bad. Put a note on it talking about.
This is what we're doing?
Yeah.
This is what we're doing. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You got one job.
Video.
Right. What's your response to that?
You got one
My
job.
response is that I'm gonna, I guess, and then I think the last time he did that, he ended up saying something about, it was back in December. I think it was like raining or something, and yeah, he made an excuse because I'm like, listen, I have footage. Do you need me to send it to you?
Is this his personal company? Is he the owner?
It is a black-owned company.
Mm.
That's why I
Is it
say you got to
his?
come. I think he maybe family members. So that's why I always tell people that, you know, you got to complain. You got to voice your dissatisfaction with something and it get taken care of. If you don't say anything and just walk away and go somewhere else, then it's never going to get better. So,
All right, this is a public service announcement. If you're in anywhere near Tonia's neighborhood and you work in the trash company, come holler at her because obviously the company she's with ain't doing a great job. They're not getting it done. So, but if you're thinking about starting a trash business and you on the up and up, holler at her too, because the people in her neighborhood definitely need their trash picked up. It's a good time to start now.
It's a great time to start a business, and we'll even have you do a little segment on Let's Gripe, you know, just to
Yes,
introduce yourself.
yes,
We don't have a problem encouraging business owners who are doing the right thing and promoting their product and being accountable to their customers. But when you misrepresent, we won't say lie. I mean, lie is such a strong word. I mean, it's just, I try real hard not to use that word. I mean, did something else happen? Did you misrepresent the truth? If you had an opportunity to say it again, would you say it differently? I mean, I hate to say that people lie. I mean, has anybody ever lied to you, Marcus?
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, people do it, you know, but you take it for what it is. Whatever they lied about it or had to lie about, hey, look, that's on you. But in this case, it's interesting because that is the biggest gripe with black owned business, is that sometimes we treat everybody like our cousin and them. We'll get back to them when we want to, and that customer service part of it sometimes is missing out. So that's the biggest gripe with black business, and you know, that's one of the things that I would suggest if you're looking to start a business or know someone that does have their own business, like the ones that we've already kind of talked about here on the show. One of the things that I'm sure they would tell you is that customer service is the reason why they're still outside of their product, is why they're in business and doing and getting better or you know, receiving more customers inquiries. But customer service will take you a long way. If you don't have that element, your business is more than likely to end up somewhere in the range of where the trash man for TONIA is. It's just terrible. Like, you can't just not pick up people trash and be like, well, you know what, man, I was out all night and I got a hangover and I just no. They don't know. People need their stuff done. It's a service that need to be done.
well, just like even with our listeners, sometimes when we're live and sometimes when we're having audio issues, technical issues, they'll text and say, hey, you know, the audio, or they might say that it's static. And what we do, you know, we apologize for it. And then, you know, our studio manager, you know, work on it and get it done. So it's not like we're like, okay, it's just one person complaining about it or whatever, because we don't want you to change the station, you know, your dial or click off because like, oh my goodness, the static or whatever. You know, a lot of times we can't help something. So you try to fix it, but you take the feedback and you learn from it, even like certain
Yes.
context, and you know, and look, and then we're gonna roll over to this. And that brings me to McKenna and Marcus. I got some good reviews. So I spoke to one of the listeners, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, I love the new format." She's like, "I love to be able to see you guys on YouTube." And this listener, one of them, she says, "And I look forward to see McKenna what hairstyle she's gonna have." McKenna, they tune in to see what hairstyle you're coming with. Marcus, I ain't got you yet. And they said they like the way Marcus could hang with us two ladies. Ain't no, he ain't scared, he ain't backing down.
Nah, man,
Yeah.
y'all cooler than the fan. Like I said before, you know, way back when I first started, you ladies have brought me in and showed me a lot of love. So I feel comfortable. So it's been nothing but love ever since I've been here. So I feel very comfortable, and then I'm sure the listeners can see that I feel very comfortable. Not too comfortable, like, you know, but I feel very I feel very welcoming.
Oh yeah,
That's our
we're
listeners.
the triple three.
Great, yes. Well, we're so excited about this new format, and we have adjusted to it being live on YouTube. That gives us an opportunity to reach more people. So we're open to feedback and suggestions as we grow our brand and we grow our show. So we thank you for all your support and the comments that you make to us. We really do appreciate that. And we really have grown as a show and as a format. And, when we invited Marcus, he just fit right in. I feel like I know him, like I feel like I know Marcus, and I'm sure he feels like he knows us as well. And so you can't always say that about people that you meet. And people that you work with. I mean, there are times that you have to have these relationships with people that you work with and interact with, but they're not as fluid as this team is. And so it is a blessing to be able to have some good synergy and some good energy and some good chemistry and a good work vibe with people that you do business with or people that you have to interact with, because there are oftentimes where that's not the case. And sometimes there are those people that you lightweight dread being around, whether they're family members or coworkers. There's that lightweight, and you can feel that, when that
Right.
when they send that email, you're like, this person just sent me another email. I'm not even gonna open it yet. And so I'm sure we've all been there. Like, I saw that email come in, and then you get that pop up. Did you check the email I sent you? You see, I didn't open that email. You can see I didn't open that email. You see that. And so,
Speaking of that, let me go ahead and while you're on that subject really fast, kind of go ahead with my little gripe. And is directly on that subject line of, and I hope we don't spend too much time on it, but being around people who always have to omit, not omit, but who would exude negative energy. You know what I mean? Where it's like they see something, they see people happy, and they have to make a comment of negativity towards those individuals. So that's my little gripe, and I just be like, but why? Like it's so often that we try to comment or say something about stuff that has nothing to do with us at all. But just like it's kind of like that situation in which you're riding by on the highway, right? And you see an accident off to the side, and you say to yourself, man, this must be a really bad accident because all these people are stopping. All this traffic is jammed up. You're waiting. Hey, I got to be working. I'm probably going to be running late. And when you get to the accident, you see the accident is off to the side. And by the time you get past the accidents, the cars are flowing beautifully. There's room everywhere. It's because people are stopping to look at this accident for so long and to try to figure out why. It has nothing to do with you. You keep moving about your day and about your life. You check, you get a glance over there, see if it's any of your people that you know. Nope. Keep on moving. That's it. You ain't even got to really slow down for that, because you should have saw that about 20 yards ahead that it wasn't your people. And so you just try, hey, look, I got to focus on going to work or go wherever I need to go because there's other people around me, up behind me that need to. But just not necessarily mind your business, but just keep it moving. It ain't about you. All that negative energy, you can keep all that.
And you know what? I'm going to piggyback on that as well. I remember, and it was just recently, and I said was not going to bring it on the show. I'm still not, but I'm just going to just give an example. There was a situation, and it was like an individual did not like me. So me myself, I'm like, I know the kind of person I am. Why? Then I started to think about it, and I'm like, well, let me see what I've done to the person themselves. And I started to think about it, and was like, I couldn't find anything in the book. So then the individual decided to let me know what the problem was. And the problem still wasn't me. It was more about my character. And the person said, as far as bossy. But then I had to turn to the person and I had to say, well, when did I boss you though? You see what I'm saying? So it falls in that when, in other words, mind your business.
Wait a minute, Marcus. Did she lean forward? Did she lean
Yes.
forward on that one? Did you do one of these mind your
Yes. 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 With a capital B. You know, a lot of times with me, when you have to take charge in certain things. So if that comes off as far as being bossy, because you're making something happen, you know. So I take all of that to say is that, like Marcus said, but I'm gonna say with a capital B again. Mind your business. I'm just saying.
So what I heard you say was, Marcus, stay in your lane and keep moving.
Yeah, stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane and keep moving. You know, this is
When
your
that traffic back up now,
but keep on moving.
You know how many problems you cause for other people because you're not staying in your lane and not keep moving? My goodness.
Ooh, that's a whole show right there. Examples of not staying in your lane, not minding your own business, and not keeping it moving. All of those things could happen, and there would be a lot, people would have better interactions and better relationships. Their focus would be on themselves and not on other people. They would judge less and criticize less. They might even lightweight be happier, but then that's a whole nother conversation because there are
Blocking blessings.
people who don't know how to do that. They don't really know how to be happy. They haven't really learned how to be happy. And that's a whole nother show. And it's sad though. It's really sad. Have you ever met like a miserable person?
Oh yeah.
And you realize you're miserable.
Oh
Can
yeah.
you need some orange juice? Like, what can I do?
I need some milk.
What do you need?
this is how I see that person. They ate too many sour apple
Mm-hmm.
throughout their lifetime. Sour apple.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's always a reflection. Because I was talking to somebody who was kind of mentioning it to me, and they said that it's a reflection of that person's life. You know, when people are not happy in their life, they project unhappiness onto other people. And it's unfortunate. Like I said, we could probably talk about this for probably another 20 to 30 minutes. But yeah, just if sometimes it takes a lot of self-reflection to understand that you are the unhappy person, that your negativity is negativity and not just what some people will call I'm keeping it real, you know. It's negativity a lot of times. So, you know, hey, look, it ain't in your mind, you can say that ain't how I'd move, but then you just keep it moving. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's simple.
because I'm a firm believer that you don't have to like everybody. It is absolutely not required that you like everybody that you interact with. But it's okay not to like somebody and keep it moving and they never know and it doesn't interfere with your day. It doesn't interfere with their day. You don't have to share it with the other person. You know, I really don't like her. There's something about her that you can actually not like somebody and keep it moving and stay in your lane and it has no impact anywhere in the universe whatsoever. It's amazing how it's possible to do that. And it does take a level of maturity. You know, first you realize, I really don't like that person. And then you realize, well, okay, I don't have to. And then you just you stay in your lane and that traffic keeps moving.
Yep.
And I think that sometimes we just have to practice that.
Yep.
Well, how about that? So, well, McKenna, you might as well just go right on in to Meghan and Harry then. I'm just saying.
I didn't watch the interview, but there was a lot of backlash about this interview. People were picking it apart from the US all the way to London and Buckingham Palace. And so it's
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Just to interrupt you. From now on, it's the firm or the institution. Continue.
The institution, the Queen Mother and her institution. So it's really interesting, just some of the feedback that I was reading about how people felt like she betrayed the institution by sharing her truth or her story. People had problems with Oprah being the one who interviewed them. like, of course it would be. Like, who else could it be other than Oprah? Like, that made American sense to me. It made American sense that it would be Oprah who would interview this couple. People took issue with Tyler Perry offering them a place to stay and some security. I mean, it's very interesting how people pull this and pick this interview apart, which I haven't seen yet. So now I'm really interested in going back and watching this interview. But we, if you know how things work, you knew that eventually there was going to be an interview. That's just how these things work. There had to be some separation and some time that elapsed before we got to this interview. And probably that COVID year played a little bit a part of how much time it took for this interview to happen. But there'll be another interview, and there'll be a short story or a book or another movie or another chapter in the story, because the story isn't over. It's just one more chapter in their lives. And people are fascinated and enthralled with this whole story of them leaving the institution, the firm, and coming to the US and the reasons behind this move. And so, I remember watching the royal wedding when I was a little tiny girl when Lady Diana got married. And I remember that train, like I have memories of that. And so I do follow the royals from time to time, and I still like to hear what's happening. But I think there was one comment that, somebody took issue with, and this was on the Piers, what's his name?
Morgan Pierce.
And how he'd had difficulty with acknowledging that the institution has a history of ism and ism. So people are still, even on different sides of the world, still in denial that racism is part of institutions, and that there are cultural biases that occur because of years and decades and centuries of institutional racism. And even in the UK, it was amazing how it was difficult to receive that message from someone. So I think that we still have to have these conversations.
Well, the fact that Morgan, the come to find out, he and Meghan, they were friends, and she cut him off. So that's why a lot of his comments and remarks about her are negative. But I have a friend that is from the UK, and she says racism is really, really a big issue there.
Yeah.
It's not how we see it here, as far as they calling you the N-word and kneeling on your neck. But she said it's really, really big there. And
Yeah.
so a lot of people, sometimes when you just look at the royal family, like there cannot be any wrong. But if you think about it, how can one person, which is the queen, she owns pretty much how many islands, Caribbean islands alone? She Jamaica was given to her as a birthday present.
Right.
So if you look at the history, it's pretty much the history could tell itself.
Yeah.
But I think some people believe that it's not as bad as America as per se, but it's totally different. And the issue is that, well, what we said, Kimberly said someone has to lead. I feel you, Tonya, otherwise things will not get done. People complain about everything, and the royal interview, same thing, complaining folks. Which is true. Kimberly, thank you so much for that. The bottom line is that, if I work with someone and they're the opposite race, and they made a comment on Facebook, and they was like, I don't care for this woman, which was referring to Meghan. Why not though? Why? What did she do? What? But if we look at it, our previous first lady was in the, what do you call that? Centerfold. But a lot of people like her. So I just don't understand. So it makes me think, is it because of race? Because I don't understand. Meghan, she wasn't in the centerfold. So why don't you like her? Why?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
So it's a lot of questions there. So everyone is entitled to their opinion, yes. I just believe firmly that someone who is not in someone's shoes can say, because that's what one of Morgan, that was one of his comment. He don't believe that, she wanted to commit suicide, and he doesn't believe the racism. So those two things alone, he was bashing. And one of his co-hosts on the morning show in Britain that they co-host together called him out. He was like, she cut you off. And
Mm,
ever since, you have nothing but negative things, bad things to say about this lady. He
mm.
literally stormed off the TV show.
Oh, he in his feelings, huh?
Yes, because he will call it out. And that's the thing. When you call them out, that's when they can't handle it. But when you don't say anything and you let them do what they're doing, then they're okay with it.
I'm like McKenna. I didn't watch the interview, and I don't think I plan on
I
watching the
didn't
interview.
either, but just everyone talking about it, every
Mm-hmm.
network, even your colleague, your someone you
Mm-hmm.
may talk to on the phone,
Mm-hmm.
is talking about it. But I mean, even with that, you think about it, March. What is March? It's the Women International Day.
Mm-hmm.
Women. So again, it fell into that was aired on Sunday.
Yeah.
So it fell into that. So we're celebrating women. The thing is that if it was Barbara Walters, would we have gotten the same thing?
I don't. I wouldn't have. If I don't. I don't. Me personally, if it was, I don't care who was interviewing him. I wouldn't have watched it. Um, the premise of it was that they were going to come on and talk about how the royal family was racist and mistreated them. I don't know what I don't know why they expected anything different. If you know anything about the history of royals in general, they would at times marry family members just to keep their bloodline pure at some point. And you have people that have centuries and centuries of this ideology of um, our bloodline or our keeping it one way, and not even from a racism standpoint, but even from a classism standpoint, like not letting certain people into their circle. I didn't expect anything different. So it wasn't going to be newsworthy. I'll say it that way. Um, but I'm happy that they're in this as a married couple. I'm happy that they're in this thing together. And just whatever the consequences of not being in that situation, they're gonna do it together. So I don't. I know I didn't need an interview to tell me that, obviously, because they definitely have left their situation and are going through everything together. But yeah, just the whole premise of anything being shocking that the royal family was somehow racist or not accepting of her definitely didn't move me at all. Um, but like I said, I wish them the best. Um, I just wish them the best, and I think they're so far from what I've seen of their moves that they've made. They seem to be pretty strong in this thing together. And as a husband and wife, that's all you need. Forget everything else. Do what you got to do.
And again, I think that's just another example of sometimes you have to choose your lane and keep it moving. And that's what they did in this situation. They broke with the tradition. They said, this lane over here is not working for us. They had a conversation as a husband and a wife team. They made a decision that made sense for themselves and their marriage and their family. And they kept it moving.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just exactly what we were talking about. They saw the accident happening along the way, and they decided that I'm just not into that. That's not what I want. That's not the vision that I have for my life. And I think that sometimes the backlash comes because people break the tradition. Well, we've always done it this way, or you know what it was when you signed up for this family. You know how we are. You know how your aunt so and so is. But as adults, we can make choices. Just because aunt so and so is that way doesn't mean that I have to accept it and that I have to be around it. I can make a different choice. And when we remember that in some light, we are in control of our own destiny and we can make choices that make sense to us and we can move. We can switch lanes and we can move. And when people pick up and do that, other people sometimes have a problem with that. I can't believe they left Atlanta. They've been in Atlanta their whole life. Their mama's from Atlanta, their grandma's from Atlanta, their great grandfather. I can't believe they picked up and they moved. Why would they go way to Wisconsin? They don't know anybody in Wisconsin. Um, and so, we tend to do that quickly sometimes before we realize that we've said something critical or negative or judgmental. Why would she start a business? She can't cook no how. Why would she do this? So we have to be mindful that people get to make decisions that make sense for them, and we don't have to agree with them. And yes, sometimes there are consequences for that. One of the consequences was, well, maybe I have to give up my title, or maybe I have to give up the royal security, or maybe I have to give up something. But we always trade for something when we give up something and we receive something. Sometimes what we let go is an opportunity to get something different that will put us in a direction that we never would have gone in had we not let go of something that was not working out for us. So I applaud them, like you said, Marcus, for making that choice and taking all the criticism, all the backlash that they've taken, and stayed together and solid and decided to do, what makes sense for them. So I encourage other people to do the same.
Well, look, Sandra, she said that, she told her truth. And even with her husband, he told his truth. The thing is that Marcus and you can chime in if you like, and you can I might be biased with Marcus, but how many men will leave a whole country for their wife?
I don't think. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I don't think that was what he felt in his heart he wanted to be anyway. You know what I
Right,
mean?
but at the end of the day, I think about it: the money, the royalty, his family may, because right now his father is not taking any calls from him since he gave up his role and all of that. But just think about everything that he gave up for his family. How many people would have done that?
I mean, I would say this, and what we know about kids, is that I could, like, first of all, I commend him for giving it all up for the woman he loves. But I'll start it off like this. I just don't believe that was what he wanted for his life anyway. It was what was expected for him, but not what he wanted for his life anyway. To start off with, that's just I don't know the people. I don't really follow the royal family in any way. But from the clippings and stuff that I think before he married her, he seemed like a different. This
Right.
generation in general seemed different
Because
from what you expect from the
you
royal
remember
family
when he
anyway.
was in Vegas? Remember he came to Vegas partying?
Mm-hmm.
He was like a regular resident in Jamaica
Mm-hmm.
because he just loved, even the islands, and he loved, just being around, different type of people. Even when he goes to Africa, he parties with them. So like you said, yeah, it from the beginning, it wasn't in his heart. You can see he was just totally
Mm-hmm.
different
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it was easy, but still.
I mean, it was. But one of the things that we tend to discount about men is the things that we'll do for love. And he was in love. This was his wife. It was. I didn't know that he would party in Jamaica like that. So obviously he liked the little chocolate in his life. Probably.
No, not probably. Yes, because he was dating a Jamaican. I think she was a model.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he was dating a Jamaican model
Yeah.
before he met Megan.
Yeah. So this is right up his alley. And to make it be known that, hey, this is me, and this is what I want to go towards, and all the other stuff I can do without. My guess is that he's not broke, and he never will be broke. That's just what I believe. Not title and being able to kind of have some of the things that he once had before, the privileges that he once had before, he probably won't. But my guess is that he definitely won't be lacking in funds of any kind. Not to the extent that he once had, but he definitely won't be lacking in the U.S. He won't be lacking of funds at all. But
And it's interesting that whole concept of being able to disown your children and not speak to them because they made a different choice. It's sad, that his own father doesn't have room in his heart right now to accept the choice, whether he agrees with it or disagrees with it, but still love the person. Like I could not not approve of the choice that you made, whether it's shoes or lifestyle or partners or marriage, but I could still love you as my child or my cousin or my family member and find a way to have a relationship with you based on these other 99 things about you that I know. Um, and so that part is sad. And I think that there are people that can identify with, they made a choice and somebody cut them off completely because of this one choice and didn't leave room for there to still be a relationship based on these other things and not just limited to this one particular choice that was made. And so, this story, it's going to continue to unfold, but we do wish them well. We wish them happiness. And, we wish that they find a place to heal from, all the scar tissue that's going to occur because it's traumatic. That's a traumatic experience. You had to pack up your whole family and move all the way to the U.S., knowing that these relationships would be severed in such a way. And that's trauma. Like that is complete trauma. And even though they weren't poor, it wasn't like they had to come over on a boat and they didn't have any resources. It's still the same type. It's still a similar type of trauma having to come and feel not connected because a lot of what people have is connection to family. That's what propels us to be the best version of ourselves possible. That love that we feel from those people who birthed us and who nurtured us and who developed us and who inputted, imparted into us. And when that's severed, you start to question that, like, well, was this really love, or was this just the institution that said, I need to prepare you for these things, and then only if you follow the instant. Was this conditional love? And so, love with conditions sometimes creates rejection.
right, I think you said something. You said exactly what I believe. And like I said, I don't know. I don't follow these people, but I don't believe it's the titles, the money, and all that stuff. For him, it was family. Because I heard people kept referencing, no, he was calling family members and they would not call him back. So it wasn't about, hey, look, I'm trying to call y'all because I really need to be a prince again or whatever else. It's these are my people that I've loved entire life. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, because the person you choose to marry, you won't talk to me, you won't pick up my phone calls. So those are the things that I believe that mean more to him than all those titles and whatever else. Quincy, on the other hand, though, one of the things that I did want before we move on really quickly, for the people that are upset at them are probably the same people that were their biggest cheerleader when they got married, because the whole thing was supposed to be the reason why they cheered Meghan was because she was now going to be a part of the royal family. And the fact that they are not, or she is not a part of the royal family, then they ain't got nothing to cheer for, really. Too tough. That was the whole thing. Instead of just cheering for, hey, look, they in love, cheering for being a part of the royal family was the whole big thing about it. But like I said, like Ken said, we wish them the best. And tell them keep on pushing.
Well,
It's
like
about their family now.
Carolyn said, come on, love. And even Sandra, she said, he did it for his family, again, guys, keep sending your instant comments. We love to read it. Sometimes we're in between like talking and we don't get to read it. But thank you for joining the conversation because our other listeners are, able to read your comments as well. But at the end of the day, we have to just, hope that everything goes well, and he from the beginning, and we'll move on from that. He always said he didn't want history to repeat itself. That is deep. That's deep. So um, Kim says yes, Marcus. He's a Humanian, unlike his mother, who was looking for a right woman to help him buck the system he was born into. Wow, it's news to me that England has prejudice. Now it makes sense. He left. Oh yeah. If we read up on it, you will see that. And even what's her name, Megan McCain's daughter on The View. She took the opportunity for the interview with Oprah and Harry and Meghan as far as the revolution with America and Britain. Yeah, and Whoopi was like, yeah. So they said that's the next meme.
We know Whoopi's side. I didn't see it, but in my mind, I already know the face
Yeah,
she made. Like to have several seats, but okay.
yeah. I was like, wow, did she really go there? I was like, whoa. So again, like you said, as days go by, weeks, years, it's gonna unfold as we get into that. And it's so ironic that that happened Sunday, and of course Saturday, what we had, Prime, Amazon Prime, coming to America.
Coming to America. I was just about
Oh
to
yeah.
say, isn't that interesting? Speaking
Well,
of coming to America for love.
well, really
I'm
quickly
coming
before we
to
get into
America.
that piece of Black history, let's really quickly talk about our Black history for the day. It is slightly somber in this fact, but we're going to talk about Harriet Tubman. She, of course, was an amazing woman. She is responsible for over 300 slaves being freed. She fought for women's right. And on this day in 1913, she passed away. Make sure I got that date right. I think it was 1913. Let me triple check. Yeah, 1913, she passed away. And she's supposed to be on the $20 bill one of these days. Is that correct? Right? Still?
Yeah, they was working on that. But did you know that they had passed the law for March 10th to be Harriet Tubman Day?
When?
Did you
Where?
guys? Yeah. Let's see. Let me read it. It says Harriet Tubman, March 10th. Harriet Tubman escaped slavery to freedom and led more than 300 other slaves to their freedom. Harriet Tubman was acquaintance with many of the social reformers. Let's go down. In 1990, the U.S. Congress and President George H.W. Bush first declared March 10th to be Harriet Tubman Day. In 2003, New York State established the holiday. Where you guys been at? Yeah.
I'm trying. Yeah.
We've been
Yeah.
underinformed of our Black history. So thank you for
Exactly. So
doing that.
guess what? That's why that's one of our thing that we're doing on Let's Gripe.
Mhm.
Every Wednesday, we will be
Celebrated then.
having some Black history facts. So yes,
I feel like I need
yes,
one of those horns right now.
yes. So and they have it. So March 13th, that was the public law, and
Mhm.
1990. Yeah. So March 10th, 1990, they designated that day for Harriet Tubman Day.
Wow.
Woo-hoo!
Yeah,
Happy. And
wow.
today is what?
March. We ain't celebrate nothing. I'm trying to figure out
Because we
why.
didn't know.
I'm trying to figure out why though. With all these woke people out here, why
What kind
we ain't know?
of people?
Woke.
Oh,
Well, all these woke people out here, ain't nobody celebrating Harriet Tubman Day. Ain't nobody mentioning nothing.
Yeah.
we around here celebrating Harriet Tubman. We can have a whole play. We can have a song. We can sing some Negro spirituals. There's a lot of things we can do to celebrate.
Well, guess what? We'll be the first. Let's Gripe on the powerhouseradio.com YouTube page. Yes, March 10th
Yeah.
in 1990 was designated as Harriet Tubman Day. Hey,
Yeah.
hey.
I think it should be a great day to celebrate women and entrepreneurship. I think it'd be a great day to do that, Harriet Tubman Day.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll keep that in mind, and next year we could do it a little bit bigger to make sure we celebrate entrepreneur, woman, female entrepreneur on this day, Harriet Tubman Day. That'd be dope.
Yes, definitely. See, look, March just started 10 days in, and we had so much going on. So you want to get into your comment about coming to America?
Yeah. So real quick before we end, because we only have about 4 more minutes. So I did have an opportunity to watch Coming to America too. So before I watched it, I had read a few comments about it, and there were people they had different negative comments to say about it. And I just remember reading one comment, and it said, "If you were born in the '90s, the movie's not for you. It was not for you because you didn't see the original movie." So I started laughing on that. So when I watched it, I understood the contents that, yeah, you really had to understand the original movie to understand some of the, like why Salt and Pepper was in there, why the twins were in there at the end of the movie, some of the lines and some of the humor and some of the comedy. But I think they did a good job with the movie, and I enjoyed it. It was an easy watch. I didn't have any real deep expectation that it was going to move me, but it was funny. It was humorous. The costumes were so on point. Like whoever did those costumes, I was like, oh my goodness. And then in my mind, I was like, why can't we have a Wakanda and a Zootopia crossover movie? Because I was like, we should have a crossover movie.
And it was really good. You see, and what I love about the movie, because before it premiered, because they actually released it on Friday instead of, I think, Thursday.
Okay.
And even some of our people, I saw some comments on Facebook saying that it wasn't funny and thumbs down, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let that deter me. And I watched it and I loved it. The fact is that even if you weren't born in the 1990s and you didn't see the original, well, not too many people didn't see the original, because even me, I watch that thing every time it comes on TV, y'all. Seriously. However, if you didn't, I love the fact that they did insert some of the clips from the old movie. But listen, can you tell me, was his baby mama, was she really in the first movie? I was trying to wonder if she really was, or did they just added that clip?
They kind of inserted that in there because you do remember they went to the bar that time,
right?
But they just inserted something that happened,
like
that we didn't see, like, because I don't remember any of that.
That's what I was saying. I know the other part as far as going home wasn't in there, but I'm talking about at the bar. I was like, wait, do I need to go watch the?
Yes, so I'm
gonna see if Leslie was really in the first one, if she'd been around that long. I mean, but it was really good, and like you said, it was a crossover. And here's the thing: again, if we look at it, the more conversation we have, if you notice, the conversations that we have and things that are going on, we got to give it up to our Black people. The mansion was Rick Ross' mansion, formerly Evander Holyfield. The studio was Tyler Perry. So we're continuously celebrating our Black people. So
and
come on.
Quality work, like those costumes and that hair design and the makeup. I mean, it was quality work. I was like,
and beautiful.
The dance routines. I mean, they did a great job with the production of that movie. And like you said, there are people out there that aren't being like the name recognition is not there, but the quality work is there. So they just need to keep doing what they're doing, and they will get that name recognition eventually. But yeah.
Because even with this part, we're going to go over a little bit because we started a little late. So we could go, 5 minutes, we could throw that in there. But the thing is that, and when we look at the new Tatiana, the artist, they threw in, like you said, a crossover. They mixed it. And I love the fact that, we don't always have to see the twerking. We don't always have to see, somebody getting beat down, because it was refreshing. And the thing is that we have to look at the good in things and stop criticizing. Because sometimes I watch a movie that people say was real funny, and I could tell you, I'll be sitting in and I might laugh 1 or 2 times. But we all intake things differently. What I might think is funny, the next person might don't. But the thing is that to say, wow, during the pandemic, they was able to finish this movie and they were able to do it this way. No one on the set got sick or even passed or anything like that. Look at the positive, but people just wanted to. But I also say that we allow the movie critics, and if you look at it, they're not us, to determine if it's a movie that is worth going to see. So we have to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to wait till it come out and I'm going to watch it. And then I'll take I'll make my own judgment there. Like again, everyone is entitled to their feelings and their opinion. However, it was a great movie to me. So yay, again, the Black Finest, Wesley Snipes, good to see him out here doing things. You know, it was just positive for me. So I love it. I
And I'm
love
glad
it.
that I took the time to watch the movie because if I had have just gone by what I read, I probably would not have watched it. But I said I want to see the movie for myself and formulate my own opinion. And if I didn't like it, I would say I didn't like it, but I wouldn't bash the movie. I would have just said I didn't care for it. But I actually did enjoy the movie. It was good to see. I mean, people like Gladys Knight was in the movie. I mean, I said, where did they get this cast from? It was just an amazing cast. And I just enjoyed the fact that there were people working. People had work, like you mentioned during this pandemic. And sometimes we forget to celebrate things and we tear things down before we have an opportunity to weigh in in a manner that supports the creativity, the opportunity, and the platform. I mean, a movie that could be made at Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta during a pandemic. Those are things to highlight, like all of the things that happen behind the scenes to make this work. So I think we forget the rest of the story when we're watching things. But with that, I will just say I look forward to what's next. Whatever's next, I look forward to that as well.
Right. We just have to make it what it is and don't get distracted. I got a shout out, happy birthday shout outs. Yes. Um, happy birthday, Cynthia. She's listening because she did comment. She said she loved the Black History Fact. Happy birthday, Cynthia. Her birthday was on Sunday. For everyone that is celebrating their birthday, March, my son's birthday is March 19th. Yes. So all I do, I pick up the phone and I call him like, what do you like? And he always asks me to cook his favorite food. So let's see what that will be. But everyone that is celebrating a birthday in March, happy birthday. My
Happy
girlfriend,
birthday.
Donna, her son, his birthday is on the 18th. Happy birthday, Sean. Please don't, well, I got to shout out my friend from the UK. Happy birthday, March 20th. Yes. If I forget anyone, please don't hold it to me. I'm trying to get it out because I got to give Marcus and McKenna to do their little birthday shout outs if they have any or any acknowledgments they want to give. So, you guys, have any personal shout out?
Go ahead. You can go ahead, McKenna.
Happy birthday to Jamaica. Her birthday was March the 5th. Happy birthday to Deborah. Her birthday was March the 8th. You already mentioned Cynthia. Happy birthday to Shanae. Her birthday is today. Happy birthday
Happy
to
birthday.
Kenan. His birthday is on the 22nd. Happy birthday to Melissa. Her birthday is on the 23rd. And if I miss somebody, we'll get Raven, March 14th. Okay, happy birthday.
Yes. And did you see the comment from Andrew G? Hey,
Yeah.
Andrew G.
What up? What up?
Hey, she got to come and sit with us. Hey, girl. What's up, boo? Oh, look. Cynthia says she feels the love. Hey, guys.
Yeah, we love you.
We do. We love you because we feel the love. You guys, interacting with us. We love it. Oh my goodness. It's just so happy that we have this platform. And guys, sometimes, I might stumble on my words and so forth, but we grow and we getting better as it is. And just keep giving us feedback because we learn from it and we definitely, take it and fix what we can fix or put a smile on our face. Because see now, I said, wait a minute. I said, so McKenna, people tuning in to see McKenna hairstyle every week. I said, well, what I got to do? I was like, well, I just got to put on my little sexy top today. Get in something soon. But again, we do thank you. Hey, I'm an Aries. Next month, my birthday. You know how I do it. I just do it big. Yes, April.
April what?
That's April 10th. April 10th. Yes, we're gonna have
I knew me and you was
yeah.
Aries season is upon us.
Yeah.
In a minute.
Yeah, we're gonna let the Pisces have their little time. Yeah.
For a little bit, for a little second.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, we run things, Aries. You know how it go, McKenna. You know how it go.
All day, every day.
I mean, I'm right behind you, the Taurus. So you know.
Yes, we know y'all Taurus. You know, look, Taurus and the Aries, we got that horn. Guys, again, we do thank you for tuning in to the Powerhouse. God bless you, babes. To the
Thank you.
powerhouseradio.com. Please subscribe to the YouTube page so you will be notified when the Powerhouse radio is going live. Because a lot of times, one of my girlfriend texts me, she's like, "You didn't send me the link." And, that's why you guys see me looking away because I'm trying to send the link. So if you subscribe, you would definitely get notified that we're live too as well, just in case I mistakenly forgot to send you a link. But thank you again for tuning in. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and also, again, thank you so much for supporting the Powerhouse Radio family as well as Let's Gripe. We couldn't do this without you guys. Couldn't do it without
Yes.
you guys. So thank you so much. And again, send us an email at letsgripe@gmail.com or the powerhouseradio@gmail.com. If you we didn't get a peach corner letter this week, but that's okay because we had a lot to jump in. So keep those letters coming in, and we'll definitely talk about them because we're not about negativity, we're about positivity. So we're gonna keep it real like that all the time. Well, until next week, you guys, you stay safe. This is Tonya saying we love you and appreciate you all the time.
And this is McKenna. I just want to say have a good week. Don't forget to set your clocks forward this weekend because it's going to spring forward. So we do look forward to longer days and warmer weather. And stay in your lane. Mind your business.
Yes.
Stay
Yes.
in your lane and keep it moving. Be safe out there.
Yes. I keep it short and sweet. Thank y'all for everything. Y'all have a great night and a great rest of the week. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for tuning in. Andrew G, holla at me. Until then, let's
Good
gripe.
night.
We're tuned it out. And thank you for listening to Let's Gripe. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Unbelievable.
You look so dumb right now. Standing outside my house, trying to apologize. You're so ugly when you cry.